So we had some things happen last session. Bit of a, again, kind of following the immediate aftermath. Had some heartfelt letters, some heartfelt conversations, some mix of events happening as far as what I have on spreadsheet and what people have reached out to me. Some other stuff is going to happen, I guess, more in the immediate before we start poking at some of these immediately in the same week versus what's in the same month. So we ended last session, I believe, was ended with Evian and Thamor having their bout? Question mark of sorts. But I know there was a segment that I guess where you wanted Evian to try to find Absinthoth as well as going to the Fey Court. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how did you want to go about that if you're going after trying to track down Absinthoth and whether or not he's going to even join you or respond to that? Because right now I think you are all currently... Actually, I thought this is the only one that's not there, right? Or, well, Absinthoth, Morani are both out and about.
Correct.
So my immediate thought after, this is like a few hours after the whole jumble that she had with Thamor, so she's collecting herself, getting her thoughts together, and then it's just brewing on her, so she just looks over to whoever is currently in the tavern at the bar and ask her who's available to run letters out. Just most likely, she's gonna write a quick letter saying, Absinthoth, I need to see you urgently. And then pay some carrier to find him to have it be run to the Lavia House Manor if he is there. Otherwise, as that's going on, she is going to walk around and, like in the nearest jurisdiction of the company of heroes, if he's around there. If he's not there, then she most likely will make her way towards the manor, and if she bumps by the carrier, if that was possible.
Yeah, you're statistically likely to find Absinthoth just outside the manor, as he's running to and from the slums.
Alright, so yeah, and if the carrier idea didn't go through, like if there was a hard time, if it does meet, then eventually she'll make her way to the Lavia Manor, sorry.
I mean, it would go through. It wouldn't necessarily be through the guild. The guild isn't exactly a courier group, but you could pay, I mean, just about really anyone or any of the urchins or people around in terms of finding someone who'd be willing to run your letter out. But
yeah, so she'll do that first, before actually making her way over. Like just hearing back to see if they sent it over, and then she'll just make her way. And once she gets the word, she'll make her way to the Lavia Manor, because she's not gonna be patient enough to wait a while more to meet up with him. She's just gonna push over there.
I mean, if you, depending on who you hire, if you hire like I said, if you hire like an urchin or someone of that nature, and you give them some X amount of gold, they will probably rush it straight over to the manor. And if Absinthoth is outside, they will probably be landed straight to him. Or if not, they would just drop it off with the guards, who would then route it, to Absinthoth wherever he may be inside. So I imagine the letter would be to the location should you, actually pay someone to do it.
To have it be urgent, she will pay up to 10 gold pieces to run it up to the Lavia Manor household, and have it be strictly to his hands only.
Okay. Then yeah, let's go ahead and throw that in. Say that you get someone who is willing, especially for that price, to rush headlong over.
Holy shit!
And
that's like more than a year's worth of pay. for a courier.
So, what Absinthe chooses to do with that, I do not know, but the message will get to you. I mean, within you writing and giving it, probably within, I mean, not even like maybe 10, 15 minutes. That courier is going to be full sprinting.
Okay.
That gold, there. So, Absinthe, you.
Wait.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
I'll say so. With that route, Absinthe, you are informed by a very exasperated guard that a small courier is there trying to hand deliver a letter to you, and they refuse to hand it to the guards, insisting that it be in your name only, directly to you, from someone named Evian.
I will go to the courier. I will tell the guard thank you. I will ask him to direct me to where this courier is.
All right, just for a bit of flair to reuse an NPC, a small little gnome is standing there, out of breath, holding a piece of paper. Finally, seeing you, gives you a wide grin and hands you the paper, or hands you the letter, before flipping you off and running off.
He doesn't even bother. He probably doesn't even know he's got flipped off. He just sees the letter.
That is great. I don't know who this character is, but I love them.
It is Mung Dirty Finger from much earlier.
Oh, yes! Yes!
just he's still up and around and living up to his name.
So I get the letter.
Oh, Mung.
Does the letter have any fancy title head? Does it look like it just got hand scratched?
It's kind of like hand scratches. Basically, it says, Absinthe, I need to see urgent outside of the company of heroes. If not, I'll meet you. I'll find you one way or another.
Talks to himself. Better not piss off a huntress. This'll be good. He walks his way towards the company of heroes. No sense of urgency, just slowly walking.
All right, Benny Hill music plays, misconnections are made, etc. No. You find Evian if she hasn't left in the hour, I mean, not even hour, probably like 30, 40 minutes it took for that entire exchange to occur and for you to walk leisurely over. Standing outside the company of heroes.
Seeing the sight of Absinthe's coming through the doorway, she was about to make her way herself to the front, but she will pause, and first there might be a small smile, but then it turns to a firm frown, and she kind of like fixes herself to stand up straight to look more professional. And Absinthe, I have a few matters to discuss with you, if you don't mind.
Well, then walk and talk as he's walking off past the company of heroes towards the slum.
And she hesitates for a second before she goes after him. Are you okay? Right. My urgency that I need to see you was more or less because after everything is done, I was wondering if you wanted to call on father. I mean, after all, he's in Feywilds, and the only way to get to him is to get through me.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how much he's gonna like the new status quo. Walking, he's thinking about the whole thing. Well, I don't see much harm in asking him and seeing what he wants. It's the least we can do for him. Is there anything else that's particularly urgent besides that?
Yes, and she kind of or I should have said this before, but before she left the company hero, she would have Marani's letter and his satchel of money on her and hands it over to him. Apparently, Marani gave this letter to all of us for her sudden absence. So she won't be around for a while. And this was your portion of the shares from the journey that we have gone through all together.
Remind me out of character how much that portion was. It was like 80?
111.
Alright, let me just do some quick math so I can forget about it later. Okay, super. That tracks. He's walking. He's not paying Evian too much mind as he's looking through the letter. He knows these streets backwards and forwards. I mean, he's lived here his whole life. He's looking at the letter. As he's studying the letter, he's asking Evian questions. Suddenly left. Was she at the company of heroes beforehand, or did she only leave this letter behind?
That I do not know. After our fight with Faust, I immediately went investigating to see if there was any other undead throughout the whole kingdom, and luckily there wasn't. So I must have missed her on my traveling. So she must have done this prior to the morning I came back next day.
Basically, she is an ally convenience and felt she's going to be with us. I don't fault her.
It's not inconvenience, it's just she has her own personal matters to attend, and I mean, I understand that she wants to take it on her own accord. I mean, that's what I've done before joining all of you.
True, true. It's interesting. I've always seen villains as the ones who ally only on convenience. It's just a little strange for me to see it on the other side.
Okay, I mean, she is your friend after all. I mean, it's just. Why are you being so distant again? Uh, Ever, I don't know, ever since the battle and even before then, just
You don't think
been.
he stops, gets his eyes away from the ladder, looks straight at Evian. I know I heard those comments at the manor. And he continues walking and looking at the letter. Huh, looks like I wasn't
What
the
else
only
was I
broken lad.
supposed to say? You've been avoiding me all week. Ever since Tilbrook, when we had it in the basement, those words that we shared, it's just ever since then. And you didn't say a word until we rescued your father. Then, and when I came back to the Feywild, you pacted with your sister without a word to me.
You look like you're about to kill me then and there.
I was upset because, for one, I only brought you over there to go see your father, and then all of a sudden you're flames coming out of your eyes and looking like you're in pain. What else was I supposed to do? I was angry because you didn't tell me anything. I understand that when we shared words in that basement, all not too long ago, that you wanted to do your follow the noble heritage. But seeing you choose your sister when there was other ways to go about it?
He slows
I
down eventually to a stop. Looks down a little bit ashamed at the idea. No, you're being reasonable. It's been a very stressful few days. I feel like I say that every other time.
and I know what I said back in the court was unfair, but at the same time, your mother really pisses me off.
Makes two of us.
So
Oh, the great noble game to lie to everyone. This time will be extra fun. and I can't play off other people against her.
Even with current events and whatever we have between us, I don't think I can stay here much longer either.
I was about to ask you that, and I can understand.
What, with me leaving, or just what we have between us?
I can leave it ambiguous. No, it has to do mainly with you leaving. I know you primarily have a job as a mercenary, and, well, if Marani is able to leave and tend things to her own, I mean, I'm sure you do now with the Feywilds.
Yes, I'm filling my position as the emissary as Fey Court. I'm no longer a mercenary for Galrun or the Company of Heroes.
And I'm sure being the emissary is going to be much more fun than you being tied to my hip with this, at least in public. After all, you really don't want to go to some of these boring diplomatic functions.
Is that all you think that I want to do? Just to waltz around and be chained to your hip for these diplomatic reasons?
No. If that's something I've tried to express to you, then I'm doing it wrong. One of the challenges of the noble position that people often overlook is that since all eyes in the public are on you, well, privacy is a luxury that few can afford. And I know it's, well, maybe not something that we're capable of. I don't know. He continues walking deeper into the slums. He's looking around.
She would hesitate, just like watching at him, like with a very disappointed look before eventually picking up pace with him, like swallowing harshly. And she's like, maybe you're right. Maybe whatever we had conjured between us, maybe it was just a fling. Maybe more one-sided than the other.
Like you and that dwarf in Dunmoric?
No. Do not dare bring him into this.
I guess the question I should be asking you is, what do you want? You want to be together? You want love? You want security? What does
But the
Evian
way,
want?
I don't know who you are anymore, After. You're, you're just treating me like I'm an echo. An echo would be a silence of the void. You know, I used to love the man who had hope and would do anything for his friends, but not the man before me.
And you
And
think that man has
maybe,
changed? Or just reflected
I
in a
think,
different way?
you may have changed. I don't know how for the better. But ever since you sided with your sister and made pact with her. Even before then, after Tilbrook. Maybe I made all my feelings get up. I don't know. But
It's okay.
you're just. We'll just. You ever find the point to end your mother at some time in the future? I'll be there. But as of right now, I can't be anywhere right now. Not. I want to protect people, but this. With. I'll do it my own way. And just. There will be a little part of me still with you, loving you, but I can't.
I understand.
I hope that's you just understand.
Well, we all have echoes of
She
each other. I suppose I don't do a great job expressing my feelings. After all, a wrong outburst in my lifetime would have resulted in a far worse punishment than what those go to jail for.
Her hands would curl at her sides, and she would even nibble on the bottom of her lip before clearing her throat, trying her best to hold in her emotion. Fine. Fine. If you want to speak with your father, then I'll give you the chance to go, but after that, I hope you find your own happiness in your solitude.
I'll take that opportunity. I appreciate you giving me a chance to speak to my father, and I hope you find someone who gives you the love that you need and can provide it.
She'll take a moment to wipe a tear away from her eye. So, are you going to continue walking to the slums, or do you want to see your father right now?
I think for your benefit, we might as well speak to my father right now.
That would be for the best, yes. So, she'll take a few, maybe like 30 seconds to suppress her emotions, trying to get a clearer picture of the Feywilds. But eventually she'll hold up her hand towards your face, but then uses her forefinger to draw the tree on your forehead and concentrating on the tree where she last sent you. And hopefully you get sent to the Feywild.
Tempting, tempting.
Teleportation. Mishap. D100.
I have a void wish. We can undo the mistake.
But what if you teleport into the void? Can you use your void teleporting in the void and not cause a dimensional collapse? Anyway. No, magic is working as intended.
Your head's
And
on backwards.
Like, he's not Thamor. And in the blink of an eye, when we were standing up, in the streets of Galron, replacing the smell of a crumbling and rebuilding city is replaced instead with odd, bright smells that is of the Feywild, odd, intoxicating, flowery scents seem to swirl around you as you are once again underneath the tree that you have been to before when you made the pact. And you see your father lazily laying against a tree, reading from a book with many surrounding him.
Looks
Uh,
over.
once they, yeah, I was about to say once they land, she'll make some distance from Absinthoth, take a moment to again get her thoughts together before confronting old Pops. Oh, and eventually she clears the throat and looks over to Papa Olivia and be like, "Ah, seems like you're getting quite comfortable in the Feywild."
He looks up, startled from reading the books. He's got a bit of a growing wide grin as he sees both of you approach. Um, oh yes, quite fascinating, really. Not too much literature and lore here in the Feywilds, but when I asked around, they were more than willing to procure me some of these books. How, I don't know, but well, I figured I better not ask.
Probably best not to.
So how fares the material plane? I imagine things have been happening in my absence.
Evian kind of like tilts her head in the direction of Absinthoth. Would you like to tell him?
Well, I have some good news and some bad news.
Well, let's hear it then, boy.
Well, the good news is we don't have a Draco Lich threatening to ending all life anymore. It has been vanquished.
His features darken a little bit. I fear the bad news then is how the beast was ridden.
Well, not necessarily how, but in the aftermath, unfortunately, Mother has become even more powerful. Not magically, just politically.
Those two may be one and the same.
Fortunately so.
He closes the book slowly. I suppose I can't hide here forever, can I?
You can, technically, under my supervision.
Not to
Yes, but
mention, we can easily deride you off as a casualty during that whole escapade.
perhaps. Though your mother might be a bit smarter than that. I did, after all, vanish. Before that point.
Oh, you think Mother is gonna come into the Feywilds unannounced? Just for you?
He stares at you blankly for a minute, and just starts like throws his head back and starts laughing. Oh, perhaps you're right, but you don't know her as well as I do. She, well, when she sets her mind to it, hell itself wouldn't stop her.
Savian, would you know if you had an intruder in this plane?
Would I know?
I mean, not directly, perhaps.
Uh, the given circumstances and with my new fresh position, I may not know, but I have other friends that may. As long as I keep the uh, communication open between all of us and security tight, then there shouldn't be a problem.
Hmm. Well, Father, I guess it is your choice whether you want to return or not. I just
Hmm.
only mentioned the risk that she is now much more powerful.
Yes, but someone has to keep her in line, I imagine. Though I don't know how much I can really do to do that. But, at the very least, I could distract her. Put on a few shows. I'm sure you need some help rebuilding the city, and I'm sure they'll enjoy a good tale of your escapades. And I'm sure I could spin it in a brilliant light featuring you more than her, much to her displeasure.
Yeah,
After all, she can't really rid of me. I'm the price she paid.
well, don't forget Evian's, heroics as well, pointing towards Evian.
Oh, it'll be all of you, of course. I expect full details. I was hoping I'd get an interview with each of you to jot down your personal, uh, memoirs of it, as it should, with all the thoughts you had, your feelings. I could probably transcribe them into a show. I need to give the actors notes, after all.
Hmm. Well, only way to do that is if you were to go back to the material plane. But even then, the group is somewhat broken.
Hmm. Pity. Then I will send out messengers, and I will find my way, and then I will get the best secondhand info I can to make it the absolute most true to Earth, mostly, tale that I can tell.
Well, you're gonna have a heck of a time finding Marani.
I made a few friends here in this realm. I can maybe see if they'll lend me their aid for a tale or two.
Well, that is one way, but if you want the real truth, then you just gotta wait until her return. But the question still stands if you still want to stay.
He sighs and just kind of looks around. Would be nice just to spend the rest of my gray years here, but I don't feel as though my work is done. And strangely, I feel like I have a bit of making up to do. You know, as a father figure of sorts. I suppose it would be, well, better now than never, right?
Effie, if you
I
don't
hope,
mind, if my father and I could just have a moment.
of course. And she would just walk a bit away, probably towards where the actual fake court starts to represent herself, but stops there and waits because she can't go too far in order for you to go back. So she'll give you a bit of a gap to where you guys are. She can't hear anything.
I guess I have some more bad news, Father.
And what would that be?
Well, Evian really is cared for me, and I feel like I've not been able to love her enough to, well, keep her happy.
He puts the book down, stands up creakily, and just gives you a full on hug.
Oh,
I've No, I've not been fully right in my mind. Things are weird. I know this place has helped a bit, and time away has helped me think and fill some of the holes I think we're missing, but like I said, I have things I wish to make right again, never lose again. And if that means coming back to be a father again, I will do what I can. But, well, to quote a great writer, that is why it is called falling in love. Sometimes you're caught, and, well, sometimes you're not.
I know it's falling for the other people going back in time, wishing they could change things, and I can understand the struggle now.
Well, my lad, I am going to get a second chance. Who's to say there can't be second chances for you? Just need to work on your outlook a little bit, perhaps. Maybe get a better garb. The eh, edgy, regal air maybe doesn't suit you or her. We can fix it up over some tea and some chats, and perhaps during one of the performance rehearsals. Does that sound like a thing a normal father would do?
guess it's the start. I mean, it's been 20-something years of tough upbringing. I'm sure it won't get. You know what? Let's try it. May not get solved overnight, but at least we're trying, and that's what matters, right?
Precisely. No great story was ever written by someone who solved it the first time.
You're right, that would make for a very boring story.
Indeed, could you imagine? The actor would just walk on stage, say I win, and walked off. Boring droll play. I much not like for it.
I mean, you could see Absintho's clearly laughing really loud in the back.
She would not be looking back. She is
You can hear the
actually-
laughing.
Yeah, she'll hear the laughing, but she'll keep her back to you, and she is basically crying silent to herself till eventually she wipes her tears away to feeling a little hollow on the inside.
Well, now that we've had a date planned out of sorts, why don't we go ahead and head back and start this new act? A father and son play. Or maybe a musical. Have you ever thought of taking up an instrument?
No, I have not, although I've considered some kind of woodwind.
That sounds good. We'll need the woodwinds. Now, and he just starts kind of rambling off into a bit of his passion of theater again.
Design!
Guess Absinthe will start walking back towards Evian with father in tow.
I'm assuming by this point her senses are kind of haywire, but eventually she catches you guys at this corner of her peripherals, and she'll force a smile and seems like you guys are getting quite along.
Well, yes. This place has been quite magical. I am ever in your debt for introducing me. And tell Lily I said hi. I don't know where he went, but he has been a marvelous influence. I even offered him a lead role should he ever want one. I don't know how to bring him into the world's act, but I figured he'll find a way. And he kind of pauses, like mid-thought, before he looks back down at you. He gives you a warm smile as well before he puts an arm on your shoulder. Unless I don't know what you've been through, but if I'm to make new amends, if you ever need advice, feel free to ask. I'm not particularly good at being a father, but I mean, heck, the more experience can't hurt, right? Or if you'd like a spot in the
Very-
show, do you know how to play an instrument?
I do not, sadly.
Oh, these days.
But in the meantime, I appreciate the gesture, but I think I should be all right.
I believe you will, Les, but should you ever need a spot of tea or some advice or just someone to talk to or someone to walk around the Feywilds who's a little used to it and rather enjoys himself here, I will always be down for a casual stroll along the flower beds and other oddities of this world.
Well, if I ever do have that downtime, I will certainly find you.
Fantastic. Now then, I suppose, before I change my mind, I guess we should be off.
Oh, so you've decided to head up to the material plane?
I have, well, things that must still be need doing, and I still have the energy to do them. So before I call it quits, I am going to make a great show of my own life.
I hope with you being this excited and that very creative mind of yours, I'm sure the play would go white as rain.
Well, if it doesn't, I suppose the actors just have to improv. That's what they're paid to do anyway. So, one way or another, I suppose I sure will.
She'll give an honest smile at that, and she'll turn around to face them, face forward. Well, alrighty then. I will send you both off.
He will just nod.
She'll start with Pops first to return back. Just placing her fingers on his forehead with her fingertips again. And just thinking of the material plane and most like focusing on the company of heroes to have him there until he materializes into whatever, like some flowers or petals, and disappears before her hand lowers. She takes a few seconds before mimicking the gesture over Absinthoth, but has yet to touch his forehead. When
Yes, I
you
do.
go back, Absinthoth, I left behind the breastplate that you took the time to, or your family took the time to make, but I think it would be best if you use it to melt it down, whatever you want to do. Sell it, get your money back. With all the gossip and everything, I'm sure you might need it for something else. And she kind of reaches into her bag, and I also want you to take the remaining stuff that I have. She gives over the gem of the tremor sense, the satchel of the dust choking and sneezing, and the last vial of fog cloud that she had on her. I won't be eating these while I'm here.
I appreciate it. Sorry I failed you.
You didn't fail me, Asta.
Oh, I think I did. I think I did.
We just want separate things, that's all. Well,
Just a little saddened.
she walks forward a little, and as if she's drawing her fingers back to your forehead, she actually his cheek and gently pecks him on the lips before focusing on the company heroes and have you be sent off away from the Feywild. And then once you're gone, she'll just whisper, "Bye." Hope you find the happiness. I hope you find what you were looking for. And she'll just stare up at the spot from where he stood for quite a long time before walking to the Fey Court. He's crying.
No, I'm crying.
Well done.
That's some emotional damage.
It's a lot of emotional damage. Starting with the heavy stuff. So yeah, you and your father end up back in the Adventurers Guild, and he again kind of gives you that nod and a smile before he starts heading off, or probably walking with you, I imagine, back to the Levian Manor.
Yeah, just deal with that.
Let's see. Let's go to. Unless there's anything else to that scene that we want to play out or answer.
No, I think it'd be easy enough just to mother like, hey, we found a father's survivor, and Absalom basically is going to try to disguise it.
Oh,
Use
he
that
was
as a
just gonna say he
distraction.
was hiding in the Adventurers Guild the entire time. He got locked in the cellar.
Yeah, he wasn't very bright.
He'll start putting on that facade that or not facade, but he'll put on that act,
Yeah.
put on an act of still maintaining that kind of memory impairment. But since this time in the Feywild, he's definitely improved. Kind of like a burden's been lifted off him. But
Good, he went to therapy.
magical Fey therapy, or really just taking a break.
Magical Fey Therapy, where you give us your problems and we actually keep them, just like your name.
Yep, or your attention spans. I don't like that word.
That
You can read that in two different ways, and one is scary.
yeah.
I feel like that's one of those things that would sound better spoken than written down. I didn't realize how it sounded better in my head.
I feel like the Fae would use that word though.
Oh, they would,
You know?
100%. I just don't. Okay, well,
I like
that occurred. Whether we chose to or not.
And we have locked it beneath behind the Patreon wall. There we go.
I don't even know if it's Patreon. That's just TOS right there. Anyway.
I guess
Alright.
logistically, you gave me the gem of tremor sense and what else?
Gemma Tremor sends the dust of choking and sneezing, and her vial of fog cloud. So,
Sounds good. Just copying it over.
It's like darkness in the bottle, except less edgy.
Well, now you got tremor sense, so I don't need a.
It's like darkness in a bottle, but your demon sight can't save you there.
The tremor sense does take an action, and you have to be holding the rock while you're using it, I believe.
Yep. Alrighty. Let's see. So for other stuff, I think everything else for the most part is now, unless I'm misreading, everything else is basically still set to be within the month versus immediately in the week, unless Seabreeze. Yours is the one I don't fully know on. I guess think about it, if you were doing that like immediately in the week, or if that's just gonna be stretched through the week, we'll get to it. I just meant more if that's like immediate or later in the month.
Oh, let's see here. Let me
Specifically for I guess because the Faithless was I don't know if we finished the meeting.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
For the Faceless, since that meeting is going to occur end of month, or within about 2 weeks, roughly, was when I think.
That's with Zidane, though. I mean, Zidane was trying to seek out the Faceless, and then what are you referring to?
The conversation you had with Echo leading up to going to. Second.
Oh.
Sorry, muted myself because a big old moth just flew on my monitor and I just beat the crap out of it with a fly swatter.
How does the moth get in?
Well,
Easy.
No, on my monitor, not inside my monitor.
Bright light, slap.
I mean, basically.
I guess the question is how does the moth get indoors, but
I have 2 dogs that we have to open the door to let out often, and
Welcome to the Midwest.
Yeah.
There's always bugs.
Yeah, and there's a light above the door, so they like to fly rear there. Then the door opens and they come right on in. So, yeah. talk about uninvited guests of sorts. I
In
3D
any
printed a fly
case,
swatter. Anyway, in any case, back to that question. Yeah, so basically, when you're having the conversation with Echo, and when you're if you're doing going to the Church of Lanther before the meeting with Levia that she hosted, I talked about last session. We'll rehash it again this one, I guess, or after that. So I planned that roughly like 2 weeks after.
Okay.
After the events came down and things were getting sorted, because she was trying to get that action plan into action.
Okay. So, what do you want?
When did that when I guess the big one is, when is that visit to the church happening? Was that before or after the meeting?
I don't think it matters, but I think that it would be after that Levia meeting, because that Levia meeting was like days after Faust's battle, right? I mean, that wasn't.
I was scheduling. I think I'll have to check. I thought I said it was like about 2 weeks after.
Yeah, all the houses got 2 weeks to get their shit in order before Levia laid down the law.
Levia was allowing people to kind of rebuild and catch up before she started.
Yeah.
I'll ask a meta question, and you don't have to answer it if you don't want to out loud, but I think the only decision there is just whether the visit has anything to do with the House of Levia, and if not, then I don't think it matters if it's before or after. I just wanted to... So Seabreeze wants to seek out the connection that she thinks was restored with the sunrise.
Yeah,
and
I don't think it would have a huge effect. It's more just asking before I pitch that RP out there, just in case it does have any influence on your decisions on things.
Let's say she does it after, and we'll go from there.
I meant like for both ways as well, like whether or not that hearing what Levia has to say, what their plans are, because again, she really only announced a lot of that rebuilding. So like, if knowing that would also influence what you say during the visit to the church.
I don't think so, because I don't think that Seabreeze would try to get involved in any of the public works style stuff.
Okay. I said, just figured I would double check and ask, since... Okay.
But I don't know what I don't know, so... I'm relying on you for a lot of the interrelationships.
Okay. Yeah, so we can, I guess, quickly knock that out, then jump to you as far as visiting the Church of Lathander. We'll say it's kind of a small church, closer to the slums district than anywhere else. But despite its location, it is very lavishly designed on the surface level, as far as it is very bright and cheery. It's very well kept. There are murals of the dawn all over, and it seems so vibrant and out of place for being where it is. And the doors are just kind of a shining. They're not made of gold. They realize that location is not exactly ideal for that, but they're painted or like veneered, or gilded to look gold, basically, to give the impression of this bright, shining beacon of a church. But on entering, or if you choose to enter the doors, inside are a few of the Daunists, or the followers, doing their kind of morning sermons. They're very vocal about it, very energetic, singing praises, singing these hymns towards this deity. And as you enter in, the head at the altar, basically, notices you, and you see his eyes light up as he just rushes down the aisle to greet you.
She's pensive. She's gonna try not to let anyone touch her.
Okay. He rushes up, gown in a very bright, kind of, again, like gold, looking like it's gold, but it's like this bright colored threaded smock. And welcome. Are you perhaps another follower of our dear Lathander?
I guess you could say that relatively recent convert, though I used to come to I used to get alms when I was small, but this was very long time ago. I don't know what I should do here. Looks around, pensively, and is very out of place. Obviously, she's, as in the picture, she's like very darkly dressed. The hood is up, etc., etc.
He looks you over. Oh, no matter, Lavender accepts all who seek a brighter tomorrow, no matter the color of their gown today. Such is the tenet and creed that tomorrow will always be better, to strive for better. And he kind of looks you over. Now, if you may, just stretch out your hand. I will give you a blessing and a boon from our Lord.
Okay. Holds out her
And
paw.
And he has a wide grin as he touches your paw. And you kind of feel this bit of like equivalent to a stat electricity of sorts. And you see him pull his hand back and look up at you. His smile just grows even wider. Oh. Oh my. You.
Eyes grow wide. What is it?
We've been waiting.
What?
Brothers, the last piece has finally come.
What? She starts backing away a little bit. Not running, but just...
Yeah. It is you. One of the called. One of those who has seen the true darkness and was given a new dawn. Yes. Tell me, what was it like? Breathing in the fresh start of a new day.
How do you know that? I don't understand.
Ah, yes. Where are my manners? Come. And he ushers you along the chapel floor, back to the back of the church where the altar stands. And as he quickly heads over, kind of not even watching if you're coming with, he pulls out a large book from beneath the altar and lays it out. You see, our Lord promised us many centuries ago that there would be a time when he would gather those lost in the darkness, call them to him, and show them a new dawn. A brightness, a brilliance they had never seen, and with them a new start would begin. They, and they alone, would know and carry out his will to reshape the world to be better. To bring about the new dawn that he so wonderfully creates. He kind of closes the book quickly and looks up. This is you, I think. Never before have I felt such a connection than the others that I've felt before with the same ringing. They are scattered now, yes, but the time will come. You are the last. You are the fifth of those chosen.
I don't... This is very confusing, but you seem to know a lot
Oh, I
about...
only know it was foretold in the prophecy. What goes from there, I do not know. All I know is that, well, you seem to have great purpose now. And he will be watching.
What do I do?
Brings open the book and starts kind of flipping through the pages. Well, I don't know. Guess it really wasn't nothing said other than you'll come and bring about a new... Well, no matter. I'm sure Lathander will make his will present to those he has chosen. In time. When the dawn is about to rise. Yes, that obviously must be it. Whatever need, whatever aid you need of his church, we will graciously provide.
How did you know? How did you know it was me?
That touch that little bit of divine sense. I could see it. I could see past the brilliant radiance you now harbor in your soul. Darkness. He kind of grows sorrowful. I am sorry you suffered so much. I do not know what or how or why, but all I could see was darkness squirming back there. A long history of hiding from the sun. No matter. It has found new perch. You have seen the brilliance of the light and tasted what it can be, and I'm sure in time it will make itself known. But for now, live your life in his teaching is all I probably can say.
Okay, I she's very confused and very swept up. She's just basically just gonna stand there looking around like she's just totally out of her element.
Well, I mean, no great rush, but we were just starting our morning prayer, so if you would like to join us in shouting your jubilation for the new dawn, you are welcome to join us.
Oh, I don't think I think I should go then. I've never.
You're one of the quiet dawn types. Okay, that is fine. We all respect it in our own way. We have a quiet corner, and she points to a little curtained off corner where you can respect the dawn in privacy should you wish as well. Otherwise, the doors are always open to one who seeks the dawn after the dark.
Oh, okay, yes, that sounds better. And there's like a confessional or something.
It's literally a roped off corner of the church.
Okay.
With just a giant curtain with paintings of the dawn on it.
All right, she'll bite and sort of wander over that way.
There's a giant statue of Lathander in there as well.
Well, okay. She will kind of look back pensively again at this guy, and then go behind the curtain and just kind of. She'll try to pray. She's never done this before, and it's very awkward. She won't kneel or anything. She just kind of walks up to the statue and looks at it and thinks about the dawn, and that's it.
Okay. You hear the renewed, vigorous, even louder this time, it seems, and enraptured now by your presence, of the Daunists in the church singing their praises. And you're praying. You don't hear any response or tangible voice. There's a quiet warmth that seems to just kind of float and flutter, and even drown out the sounds of the priests shouting and cheering and being very jubilous in their praises. It seems to drown them out. You just feel a sense of serenity and peace. A growing warmth, as it were.
She'll take one of her 5 daggers and put it at the feet of Lathander, and then leave.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the monks the Daunists just keep singing and cheering their praises long after you leave the door. Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. It's still not here, so we'll just have to buy to that. We did those. Ronnie is out for this month traveling, so she starts her. Is there anything else I need to do for us? Thaymor's not here. Zidane.
Jesus.
As far as RP stuff, as far as making copies of the Hero's Tale, I mean, that's something you can definitely do. It'll just take some time hiring. Basically, you're not gonna find too many like publishers immediately available, but in due time, you can find people that you can pay that'll help you transcribe. or just even write kind of rough copies to start trying to circulate around.
Seabreeze had made a recommendation to a specific um, store/group to go check out first.
I asked
And
if that was a thing, and Salty said there was no like wizards.
There's
Like-
no wizard. There's wizards. There are wizards. There is no wizards guild or council.
Guild, right?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
the,
So you could find wizards like trinket shot wizards or just kind of general practitioners that would help
Mhm.
you in that nonsense, like help you in that quest of sorts. But you won't find any, like I said, there's no guild or council like a ranking of
Okay.
wizards type thing. It's Galaran is not structured that way here.
Okay.
So if
So
looking at strictly Galaran,
no magical means of quickly copying and or enchanting it.
there could be, again, it would just be strictly, you could find wizards to do that. I'm trying to say you could find wizards to do that, it just wouldn't be a guild or a council. You just have to find the odd wizard or odd owner of a magical store or someone selling like their
Mhm.
services as a wizard. It can even be within the company of heroes kind of deal.
Got a wizard here to help you serve your purposes.
What in the?
I am a conjurer of cheap tricks. How did you know? Yeah.
Actually, in that case, I'd try to get Gorvin to get a recommendation from Gorvin or some other connection of his to get the book copied. Being an adventurer himself, I imagine there might be some
Gorvin would have a
interest.
recommendation
Okay.
because it's someone you know. A certain librarian you met many, many moons ago.
ah,
Was it the person that we saved?
Yep. Purveyor of books and knickknacks. Probably be delighted to help you copy and preserve that book.
Back in Tilbrook.
Yep.
Ah,
Should you wish to pursue Gorvin's recommendation.
I suppose my Sormir trip is on hold. And yes, I will go pursue. Oh man, what is his name?
Dorvin?
Yep. Should
Something.
be Dorvin, I believe.
Dorvin, Gorvin,
And Millie. So,
Millie.
It's Millie
okay.
and her father Dorvin. So, I would make plans for that. Although, is there any other?
Yes, there's other things that'll happen here. I just figure that could be set up as part of the ongoing.
Yes, I will add that
Mhm.
to the big master spreadsheet.
As far as learning noble etiquette from Absinthoss, I mean, is that it says RPC? How would you want to RP that? Like an actual session, or just kind of you asking the question to him, or is at what time frame? I guess would that be? It was. I guess I imagine that's before the meeting when Levia announces that there'll be one. That you'll probably try and seek out that etiquette.
Yeah, and if you want to shred, we can RP it, or we could just try doing some. We can maybe do some rolls to see how well it sticks. How well the education sticks.
Shred is currently away from computer.
Well,
Oof.
as soon as I open my mouth.
He rolls nat ones.
Watch, this is when he his his window thing falls down on his computer again.
Freaking blinds.
And as far as establishing House Yakash, or Yaskash,
Yes.
yep. I mean, that shouldn't be necessarily difficult. As far as I don't know how we, again, another one of those where we can RP a little bit on it. As far as hiring stewards and groundskeepers, it's mostly just probably either hiring if you want to go through House Levia to see if they have connections, or if you're going to try and find.
I'm good
Like-
with staying away from Levia for now.
Okay. I mean, you could put like bulletins out, I guess, if that's what you're looking to try and find, or if you just want to, if you're going to wander and find people.
Is Kazim how well does Kazim like his current job?
I mean, You can hire Kazim. Roll me roll me persuasion, I guess, or whatever you want to do to convince him.
Sure.
He doesn't necessarily care for his night shifts, but it pays well and it's safe, so.
Roll athletics for throwing him in a bag.
I will say that he would maybe need to work 9 shifts. However, he gets to live in my house, his own room, his own stuff, and I might not even
So
be
you're
there most of
adopting
the
him.
time. No, maybe, not necessarily.
The house that's a shell? That's just 4 walls? And dust?
He gets an allowance to fill it. Yes. This is your problem. I need to go take care of some other things. Bye. Okay, persuasion. You said yes.
Yep. I mean, I'll leave it to the dice to see if Kazim is willing to be.
Okay. High natural charisma. Yay.
Ooh. All right. Let's see what our friend Kazim rolls do.
Resist?
Well, to kind of like
Wow.
difficult, like I guess what his not so much resist, but just difficulty of how well he thinks he's being treated and liking the job.
Every goddamn time you adventurers come through, I always have to keep on serving beer after beer.
So yeah, so basically you go up to you approach, in one of those nights you approach Kazim working the night shift, tired as always, kind of trying to keep up with everything going on. You just kind of, I mean, I'll RP it actually. Go for it. Let me RP it. Kazim's just tiredly sitting at the counter. Oh, hi. Welcome back. How can the guild be of assistance?
Well, it's not so much the guild, Kazim, as perhaps I'm in need of a steward
I'm in.
that you would be Pardon?
I said I'm in.
I haven't even told you about compensation or.
It's going
I'm.
to be better than this right now. I am working double shifts at night. Gorvin forgets
Ooh.
my existence, and I've had the last
Ooh.
couple of patrons come in for adventures asking for tasks I don't even have. You see that mug
Uh.
over there, and you see a mug like embedded in the wall behind him. They threw that at me.
Oh, that's yes, that I can easily see why. 3 square meals, a large house that is not furnished, but you would have an allowance to try and help me fill it. And of course, wages to compensate. When do you want to start?
Let me check my schedule. He takes out a piece of paper, writes down, I quit, signed Kazim, love you, Gorvin, and leaves it on the counter. Okay, let's get going.
Um,
I've got nothing better for the night.
um, can you at least lock up the door first before we leave?
It's a
And
guild hall?
right, dumb question. Can I side eye the adventurers board, as it were, see if there's any jobs?
There are some jobs posted, but most of them are, they're kind of mix of odd jobs. Mostly a lot of trying to send messages or retrieve people that have fled or looking to see if someone's there. Like it's a lot of granted, this is still shortly after the aftermath, so not too many have been posted, but that's really the gist, is like looking for people that have been missing or fled.
Hmm. So missing persons / wanted alive.
Well, no, missing persons and like relatives trying to see what happened to people that like is my family okay? Like there's
Hmm.
people who, left the city, but maybe they didn't all leave, or like family left, or maybe they don't know what happened in the other towns. They don't Not everyone really knows if everything that happened in Galaran was localized to Galaran. They heard stories from um tourists and all that about other occurrences. So a lot of
Uh,
like
I would definitely want to come back and pick up missives going to Tilbrook, Torst, Dewsbury later. But yes, I have successfully adopted Kazim. So that's 1 out of 2 people at least that I need. All right, do you have any effects? I suppose that we can get over there.
Not much. And he kind of just like starts rummaging around under the counter, grabs a bag, and starts tossing a few things into it. That's about it. I got a few clothes upstairs, but I can grab that later.
Do you really think Gorvin will allow you to leave once he sees, I think points at the note, after you come back? You
I told
might
him I
want
was going to be quitting anyway. I just didn't tell him exactly when. Besides, he's usually knockout drunk at this time. Not like he'd notice me gone.
All right.
So, yeah. You have acquired a Kazim.
1 Kazim, worth
Like-
5 GP per week.
Sure, that's
A lot.
yeah, that is definitely a lot. If we kind of did the weird gold standard. Anyways, yeah. So Stewart acquired. Are there any individuals with the ability to cast sending, or I guess sending stones available for purchase? Would be the next thing.
I mean, are you going to make a sending stone to give him, or are you trying to like create a sending stone to talk to a specific person who isn't here? Because for sending stones to work, they have to make him in a pair.
Just I guess paired between me and Kazim.
Oh, you're making yeah.
So either like the idea was I wanted to hire also another retainer that could cast sending, but I imagine that that's kind of a high level spell, and the
You could
so
put
sort
up
of
a
cast
post in the Adventurers Guild.
on retainer. Sure,
Yeah.
there's something
Looking
like
for a
that.
retainer must have these prerequisites. No third level spell slot. I'm just kidding, but
Just have 5 years of AI programming.
yeah, that's the AI programming. Please, no sad
Artificer
backstory. I
intelligence.
will not read it.
Needs to be able to cast 10th level spells.
Oh boy, we already have a couple of gods and goddesses in here. I don't want to get
Works for exposure.
Does not
Really?
need pay.
I was taking a drink, Greg.
Does not need compensation. Works for exposure.
I'll put a posting up for a
Oh,
spellcaster, not administrator.
On a
Peon.
D indeed.
Sure.
That's the name of the board now. It's the D indeed.
It's next to the quest board, or it is the quest board. Anyways, yes, that's just something I'll come back to try and address later.
Yep, we can. That'll occur within the month or so of people coming out too. We can play it. We don't have to necessarily RP who you want for that.
Yeah, and
'Cause I'm-
the last thing is I do want to keep a track on what kind of missing persons towards places I'm going to be going soon.
Okay.
So,
So there's a handful of like for most cities. Again, it's a mix of just please see if my family in Taurus is doing okay. Please, can you send a message to this person to tell them to come home? It's over. Like stuff like that because I mean, some couriers don't necessarily want to go out right now, and some of these are just people that have no idea what else to do, and they just throw them at the adventurers because adventurers just do everything, right?
cool. A hero of Galaran can be reduced to courier work for easy money. I am
Pretty
all
much.
for it. I don't have my dog. Damn it.
This sounds like an MMO quest line.
Hey now, don't go stealing my ideas.
So how many beaver pelts do you need to get?
Why are
How
all
many-
these beavers naked?
How many Kazims do you need? 1 of 5 Kazims?
Hey now, hey, whoa.
What level spell is
Think of the recording shred. Come on.
All right.
Yeah, that's recruiting Kazim, posting the wanted sending caster and jobs for going on journey.
Okay. And then and as far as the book, you want to take the potential advice or route eventually to get to Tilbrook to have
Yes.
Torben take care of that for you.
Yes.
All right. So that is a decent amount of stuff there. Ba- 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 ba. Noko, if you're there at any point, you want to hop in for a specific thing, let me know. Otherwise, I can just message you stuff later. It's not a big deal there.
Yeah,
The only
right, I'm
other...
just here listening.
Oh. What was it?
I'm here for now.
Okay.
Ooh, can we do the thing?
What thing?
Your storyline.
I think that stuff happens after 2 weeks.
Are there any other things happening
Did I
before
miss...
the meeting with Mother that happened technically last session, but will happen again?
Yeah, I don't think there was anything else when I was looking through this, which is why I was kind of...
Yep.
Unless... The only other... No, I imagine Absinthosis stuff with doing the safe house stuff will be throughout the month. That will be like a one-time.
Yeah, he'll find a nice place.
Yep. I mean, there's a particular gnome who will help you set a place up.
Seabreeze can
So does
also
a
help
halfling.
with that.
Is he a gnome or is he a halfling?
Actually, he may have been a halfling.
I think he is, yeah.
I think I just said no because I kind of forgot as I was talking. I think he's a halfling. That's right, he's a halfling. Okay. Yep. But yeah, Among Dirty Fingers. Available for any odd job, so long as you're willing to deal with his namesake.
I just love that this whole city is just like, go to Mung, or go to Mort, or we've got one guy for it.
Well, Mort's just kind of his own, like, odd job person. He just does his
I
own
know.
thing.
I
Mung
know.
is the...
I just love it. I just love the thought of this whole city. I go talk to Mung. He can get it done.
I think it's more Mung is, like, scouted you guys and figured you guys were good, like,
Easy
customers?
money.
Yeah,
well, good customers. Repeat customers that'll come back.
We
So he
leak.
just kind of hangs around. He
We
beats out the other people waiting to help. He's like, oh, you need that job? I got it. He's like
Yeah.
first in the line. He's waiting. He's waiting
Yeah.
for those
He
jobs.
follows us around as much as he can, right?
Well, you guys
It's
have all
like-
failed your perception checks. He's been there the entire time. It's always been Mung.
You thought Seabreeze had good stealth?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
snuck up on me.
Mung
Mung
has
just hides in
double
plain sight.
expertise.
Just like cast out of the trace on permacast.
Cast out trace at will.
Yes, at will. Dropped only when he gives the finger. That's his only. Anyway,
All you see is the
Deviating.
finger.
he's actually a illusion wizard. So when he casts Phantasmal Force, it's actually just a giant middle finger in your nightmares.
Somewhere, Andros is going, hey, I should use that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I don't think there was anything else to my knowledge that was before that point. I think. Unless Thamor wanted to talk to Levia earlier than that. But I figured it would be after.
No, go.
Sorry, guys, question. I heard talking to either Mother or Levia. Not Levia or Whisper after.
Well,
Yeah,
Whisper
thanks.
would be a challenge. Because Whisper is
Because
not in
Whisper's not
Dalaran.
there.
Yeah.
Thamors know that.
So that can happen throughout the entirety of the month, but Whisper is not there. However, should you bang around the sewers, kind of remembering where you were, you would run into Echo instead.
And
Or
Seabreeze,
Yeah,
potentially...
that's
So
what
you either
Thamor
run into
probably
Escort or
would.
Discord.
yeah,
Would probably
Seabreeze
go
would
back to
definitely.
where he met Whisper.
Seabreeze would help you facilitate that meeting if you wanted. Like, and in a way where you didn't have to go stumbling around.
Okay, yeah, if you get
Stumbling around,
facilitated...
Thamor's been there before.
Well, if you go... Here's the thing. If you facilitate through... Well, okay, what would Thamor do? Would Thamor just actually just go by himself into the sewers, or would he go through Seabreeze? Because that's going to change who you're going to get.
That's a good
Thamor,
question. What would Thamor do?
Thamor,
Go
think
fishing.
your friend who likes to go fishing with you really wants to help you. she's she's very different than you remember before the fight. Like you notice it's like she's real friendly.
Uh, yeah. No, Alton, fucking Trent. You have said Sea Breeze does work for the Faceless, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
okay, and yeah, he probably would go to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if it's through Seabreeze, you can get to Echo.
She would find
You-
Echo. Yeah.
Yeah, if you wander through the sewers, you will run into Discord.
So then we would go find Echo, sort of,
Yeah, once again, in the
evening
same
time somewhere, not that primary location where she first went to meet him after the fight.
Yeah, if you set up you'd probably meet like an undisclosed location, some kind
Yeah.
of shack, basically in the slums kind of deal, but still guarded to your trained eye or knowledge that it's still fairly well guarded.
Right.
Yep. And again, this kind of oddly dressed figure wearing the mummer's mask sits behind a quickly assembled desk. And would this be before? Is this before the meeting? The meeting that Levia calls together? I imagine so. Okay.
Okay.
So this would be before the meeting with Levia, but after the meeting that you had with Echo already.
Okay.
So, timeline wise. Well, welcome back there.
Brother,
Breeze, what can I do?
I bring you a special friend from the battle.
I
He
noticed.
searches for some information, and we thought you might some.
And what do you have to offer us there, big fella?
Well, my one big bargaining chip, which was a very famous axe, is now suddenly useless.
If I may, this was the most obvious reason why we won the battle, standing before you. I owe him a great deal, and I think we all do.
Favors are nice and all, and I mighty appreciate it, but faceless don't just operate on kind words and gestures. I hope you'll understand we have a few priorities on our plate. You know our goal. Tell me, how much does this one know? How much have you told him?
I have told him nothing, but he adventured with our
have
brother.
I have met Whisper before.
Well,
I have
many
helped
have,
a
but
lot
if you
in
know her
town.
name.
I wish for knowledge, something I hear you guys tend to deal with sometimes. In return, my services, be it anything you need.
That's nice and all. What kind of services can you provide? Your history is a bit of a blank to us. We usually like to get a bit of info on the people our members bring in, but you're an odd one, big fella. Not much can be said of your past, it seems. We like to know who we're working with.
I am willing to let you know whatever you want. But looking into my past, you may need to look further back than what you have expected.
Oh, you one of them long-lived races then?
Uh, Beans. I'm immortal, obviously, but you can say that. But also, I believe I was brought here from a different. Brought here through time, somehow.
He kind of straightens up at that a little bit. Brought here through time. How far in time are we talking? You may have interest.
There are ruins underneath Dunmark, the city, which I have recognized. Remind me, the Fool King, that was his name, right? The first thing we did, where I got the image of the crescent moon.
Mm-hmm.
Banners upon the Fool King's court, I recognize.
How do you recognize them?
Oh crap! I don't.
Well, I guess maybe the better question for him would be, describe me those banners.
I don't think I actually ever looked into the banners other than being able to recognize them while in session.
You recognize them because they're the banners that flew at your kingdom.
Okay.
Like they literally held the crest of that kingdom. Which you've never, I don't think we've ever given
I don't
a
think we ever
tangible
did.
form. Because I was waiting
No.
to see if you wanted to give one. So give it to me now. Do you want like a bear or something? Fish? Bearfish?
A just halberds. No,
just 8 halberds all. That's it.
just 8 halberds and multiple helmets, like a tower of. No,
A
Biblically
bear
accurate
holding a
bear?
fish in its mouth above a
Wearing a
crossed
helmet.
set of halberds,
Wearing a helmet.
wearing a helmet.
All right, that's canon. All right.
that's fine. That's fine for now. We'll just go with that for now. I mean, it's all too works anything else.
Well, that's pretty dope, honestly.
A ravenous bear with a
I'm gonna make that.
fish in its maw with crossed halberds. Right?
Close enough. Close enough.
Close enough. We'll work on something, but for now that works. He explains the banner.
Well, that's a banner that no one's heard of in a long time. Even those here, few remember that one. And I bet anyone you ask outside in the city would not have an idea what you were talking about.
None have so far. That's why I've come to you.
Famor, was it?
Thamor nods his head.
I think this will be a very worthwhile partnership indeed. I dare say we might know more than you do about your past. Now tell me, are you happy with the way things are now? Or would you rather find your city again?
I would rather find the people of my city.
Fair enough. After all, what makes a city but its people, am I right? Alright. This could definitely work out for the best. I'll get you your information. You were looking for a cult, I believe, correct?
That is correct. Thamor pulls out a little drawing he has of the cult. I believe I did. I believe I said I had it in a text chat like a couple long sessions ago.
The crescent moon.
Yeah.
Yes, you've been keeping tabs on this group for a bit. While I admire their ideals of fixing things, their course of action and intended or unknown, well, they don't really know what's gonna happen. They're kind of dumb in a way. Sets us apart. Fanatical group. What do you want to know about them?
Who are they?
Cult of the Crescent Moon. Much like our ideals, they believe this world to be fake. They want to fix that. But their ideology for fixing it is to, well, destroy it, break it, completely sever everything. And when that happens, they believe that the world will begin again the correct way it was supposed to. That beneath the lies and illusion lies the real world. Bunch of idiots.
And I suppose that would be bad for your organization.
Yes. You see, Thamor, the time that you remember, that banner, it's from a time that once existed, but doesn't anymore. It's forgotten. The world was rebuilt. Now I know this. I'm gonna keep that a trade secret for now, but I know that symbol. I know kingdom. And what we're seeking to do is fix history, bring back what was lost. Correctly. Not to destroy the world. I like things that have happened. I don't see this world as a fake. Don't you think the people that were lost should get to see it too?
Thamor nods.
Good. Looks over to Seabreeze, mask hunter. You did well again. You found yourself a mighty fine companion here.
I would like to help him in his task.
Very well. I think that'll be beneficial to all of us, should he succeed. I think, Thamor, we will definitely be in touch. I can get you some more info on those cultists. I'll even try to dig up their locations if you're of that particularly fancy. If not,
That would
you're...
be very much appreciated. I wish to visit them at some point.
Oh, I like this one. We're gonna do mighty fine together.
He is very effective.
If the tales I heard are to be true, anyone at the end of that halberd is as good as dead. Well, we'll be in touch, Thamor. And, let me know, or let Seabreeze here know, should you require anything else, and we'll be in touch, right?
Thamor nods, and I guess he'll nod.
Good. I also like the helmet. I'm a man who likes my mask myself. And he kind of tugs on his mummer's mask a little bit. Awful nice.
Makes it harder to recognize you without the mask on, helmet on, per se.
That's one look of it. Another way is it just keeps one to oneself. A true view of being anonymous in a world that, well, perhaps forgot you. But if that's everything, then I bid you take your leave, and we'll be in touch, as I have said.
And yep, Thamor will nod that and turn around and start walking towards the door.
All right.
If Seabreeze follows, not you know.
He does. Curious what you'll say after we get out.
Yeah, we'll go for a small walk, get away from this place a bit.
Must
Is
have.
the at this point the lake's probably still frozen, right?
At this point, yes, it's still early enough on that it's cracking, and there's crews, including Andros and his dwarven team, breaking the ice and getting it like fully separated.
Be kind of hard to follow someone through a very flat plane of ice.
I know much better
Especially Metro
places. I know much better places to have quiet conversation. Follow me. And she leads you to an alleyway that has a ladder and goes first up the ladder and disappears over the edge of a roof.
More follow climbing up the ladder.
With the DM's leave, I'd like that to be a rooftop that is subtly taller than all the surrounding ones in this part of the slums that they're in, such that they can see the harbor.
Okay. Yeah. I thought you were gonna take him to the Church of Lanther for a second. I was just gonna start cracking up.
No. We're not revealing that. So I imagine that you are... Is it revenge that you want against this cult?
I have had word from a being of power that says my people await, that they're waiting.
You
If
are
that's
rescuing.
true, then my lead would be the cult of the Crescent Moon.
I see. And yes, I think I would like to help you if you would let me. I think there is a strong chance that we can free your people.
Your help would be appreciated. As you can see, I am not quite built for sneaking around in the shadows.
I understand this, and it would be my honor. He bows.
They very much appreciates his bow. He is now more godly.
When you intend to leave, go by the shrine in the slums of Lathander and leave a blade by his feet. I will find you within the hour and we may set off. Are there others that you would bring along to help you in this quest?
Those that I would have other plans.
Ah. Well, depending on what my brother finds for you, let me know.
Claymore nods and walks to the edge of the building. And is it it's a slum? There's no buildings over 30 feet, right?
I mean,
Well, that's this abnormally tall building. It's just really fucking
nice.
tall.
I guess no, it wouldn't be, but I guess are you just planning to jump?
Oh no, I'm just gonna teleport down. Fuck jumping.
Oh,
Shadow
fair
step.
enough.
Yeah. Yep. Just sink into the ground. Gone.
Fair enough.
It's gonna be a way Thabor exits and enters buildings now.
What have we done?
You know exactly what you did.
We have one character that enters through windows, one character that teleports into rooms.
Called beans.
What are we gonna get next?
Beans.
Just blows up a wall.
That too. Might get that. Anyway. Alright, is that the end of that?
Yeah, that's good enough.
Yay.
Right. I think if what I am knowing is correct, that is everything before that initial meeting or the initial like call that I mentioned last time, right? With the council that Levy is putting together.
So that hits about everything in that first month, more or less. Andros would be leaving in some of that time frame. That time that is wishy-washy, as it were.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I figure it would be, but yeah, sometime during that month, you'd get the seas thawed, or at least enough that you can get the ship out and all that stuff.
We'll say that just from a mechanical standpoint, he would get he wouldn't go to the meeting. He'd get the courier who basically came with the information about, hey, being a emissary of trade, and he'd tell him to fuck off, and then basically later that day or the next day he would depart.
Okay. He departs in that first month, and then I mean, do we need to recap that meeting, or does everyone still kind of remember that? It was kind of just a brief overview of what she was talking about, but
Yeah, if not, we also have the notes to refer back to.
okay. I don't remember if it got pulled into the notes or not, since it was kind of an odd.
I planned to, but I can pull it into this notes. Either one works. It's not.
Okay.
I just
doesn't-
haven't finished it yet.
Okay, as long as it's there, so I'm not gonna
Yeah.
waste too much time rehashing all that again. So, but all that kind of goes down, and we start kind of that jump into some of the months passing kind of deal. I guess what we want to let's see. Big ones being probably between Morani and Barnacle. And then Zidane, I had something for you as well, kind of early on. I think we got everything done that was in the first month from what I remember. So, as well as, are you with the information you got from the Faceless Thamor? Are you still going to work for House Levia? I will message him later then. Not a big deal. Okay, so if that's the case, anything else that people are wanting to cover in that first month, roughly, or any other info they want to give me about that before we just go ahead and jump into kind of the end of that month?
I have a quick one. Just a quick one. I forgot to add this in, but it was the day before Andros leaves. Evian just pops back from the Grey Wilds and just gives. It's not like an RP moment. It's just more or less she's giving him money for his trading outputs, and pretty much what she has, he's gonna own, and that's it.
So he basically gets what money she had left.
Yes. So he will be getting the 104 gold pieces that she had.
Cool.
And that's it. And then she goes back.
Darn. Thought I. Anyway.
Huh?
Nothing. So when people forget they had money, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd think we forgot we had money because of all the damn rewards we keep on passing. I mean, we're
Hey,
such do-gooders, heroes. Yep.
exposure. You all work for exposure.
Yeah, why do I have a bunch of money now that, Mother is the queen, basically?
You don't get an allowance.
Dang.
It would look bad.
What did it cost for Andros to furnish the journey? I'm just curious, roughly.
Right now, for the furnishing the journey, will waylay cost unless you do something excessive. As far as like, I imagine you take in that time frame or in the coming time frame, you'll have odd jobs or something to try and also earn the money to do that.
Yeah, he'd be collecting the standard rations and fresh water, the things that they need for the trip, and in the process, he'd be talking with merchants and that sort of stuff, setting up.
That's what I'm
So
saying. I
maybe
imagine,
some people have some odd deliveries or whatnot because he's heading
or even
for
just taking
Dunmork.
Or even just taking people, if you're willing to take people down there, because people are probably wanting to go to Dunmore too.
Yep.
So,
He,
that's what I'm saying. Is like for right now, I'm not going to try and calculate the cost of that because I imagine it could be offset in a sense since we are time skipping and not immediate. Well,
sure, that's fine.
We can just kind of hand wave him some of that and figure out gold at the next set, like when we start the real session kind of deal.
Yeah. Gold is being made and spent, and we will figure it out later.
I imagine your characters are not just living off literally what they have right now and never making another gold coin. I imagine they will do what they need to get gold in some form or fashion, and you are all fairly
That's what we've done up
experienced
to this
Yeah.
point.
Yes, contract killings. Let's go.
I mean, that's one option for one option.
We'll
I
see how
imagine
warm
Thamor
and
will fish.
we'll see how warm and fuzzy I feel going to Lythander after killing people.
All I imagine is just like you and Thamor strolling, go to the dock, you're murdering a random guy on the side, and Thamor's just fishing. And then you both return to the faceless Thamor's just armload of fish, and you're the corpse.
It writes itself. It's just
Yeah, it's just a duo. It's a comedy duo.
Mhm.
You guys are just anyway. Okay. So if that's really it for the month, time passes on that. The city is slowly starting to heal. Very slowly. It's only, Levia is starting to put into practice everything she said. I mean, again, at surface face, to everyone involved, it looks like she's really putting on the acts of a good queen. She's starting to rebuild. She's starting the plans of like kind of decommissioning the castle and taking that down and starting to expand, starting to contract help and getting those getting jobs essentially created for those to help rebuild Galaran, with Aptothos really kind of at the helm of, or supposedly at the helm of, improving the slums. As far as an RP thing to jump to, it looks like would this be something that happens 4 weeks? Okay, so yeah, that would be fairly early in that month. So
Yep.
I could say, yeah, we can go ahead and jump to that then, as well. Give Morani something to do since she's been sitting here so patiently, having a conversation with Barnacle, finding Morani.
So essentially, what happened? Barnacle, upon getting his instructions from Anderos, having a hat with a note written in it, sets off from Galaran, heading north. First week doesn't have a whole lot of luck. Most of the villages west of Galaran have not seen hide nor hair of Morani and her two companions, and he starts sweeping northward. Second week, still little of her whereabouts. And he manages to get some paranoid villagers to chase him off as a river monster. And yeah, he spent the rest of that week regenerating a limb that had been hacked off. Week 3, he gets a lead. He finds a set of paw prints and slender bootfalls in the mud near an abandoned campsite. Makes his way to a nearby village of Eldhem, where a local militia mentions someone of that description had come through here a few days before. And it is in about the 4th week, so this is, again, early in that second month, is when he happens upon Morani's camp one evening. And he puts the tricorn on his own head and sloshes into the camp.
Morani?
Barnacle? What are you doing here? How did you find me?
Well, uh, he, well, you've got your silver hair and the dog. The people back
Oh,
in the
for fuck's
village, they
sake.
saw you.
I didn't really think that through, did I? Okay. Lesson
just,
learned. Off the grid is the way to go. Okay.
are you
But
are you okay?
I yes, no, I don't know. I'm figuring that out. I can't say I'm not happy to see you though.
Well, that's good. I'm happy to see you. The captain told
Is
me to come find you.
is he okay?
Well, I assume so. He was getting ready to leave. He sent me on his way. Right.
Takes the hat off
To give you this.
and hands her the note. The hat.
You stuck something inside it.
And inside there's a little note, and scrawled across it in a fairly messy script is the two words: "Take care of yourself. I'll be expecting this back, you hear?" And Barnacle's just standing there, kind of, not apprehensive, kind of expectantly.
He takes the hat and just reads the note over a couple of times. She doesn't really seem to react at first. And then, for the first time in literally a decade, you see tears start to stream down her face. She
Is
just
he all
stands there
right?
crying. She doesn't even acknowledge him. She just stands there crying for a minute. And then after a few moments of this, it just kind of transitions to like this half cry, half laughter. And then she just kind of like wipes the tears from her face. And then she sets the hat down and she unclasps her cloak, just folds it over in her hands, just stares at it for a few moments before handing it over to Barnacle. Tell him
Uh,
same goes for him.
what, am I, sure, what's the cloak for?
He'll understand when he sees it.
Ah, you want me to take it to him?
He wouldn't mind. I assume that you'll be seeing him again at some point. I imagine that bond hasn't been severed.
No, right away?
Well, if you have other places that you need to be, just when it's convenient for you, just make sure that he gets it.
Oh, listen, Barnacles, you had me scared there for a lass. Ah, yes, I'll make sure it gets back to him sometime. Uh,
Hmm.
he told me I could go visit Miss Malaeus, and well,
Oh, no, say no more. Say no more. I understand.
you're going to be okay, right? You're going to take care of yourself,
Yeah, of course.
right? The captain would be sad to see you not taking care of yourself. He'd probably yell at you, you know. He does that to
I'm.
me. No, he actually
I would.
doesn't.
I would expect nothing less from the captain.
Wait. Um. Well, I didn't. It looks like you're about to sleep, and I don't. So I'm going to Lou.
Barnacle,
Yes.
if Anderos ever gets into trouble or he needs me, will you find me?
I'll do my best. Is there some? It was hard enough finding you this first time. I expect you're going to make it more difficult. Maybe a name?
Gwendolyn.
Pretty name. I like it. Well, we darling. I'll let him know, and I'll find you if he's in trouble. But maybe
Just
a
make sure
while.
that he takes. I understand. Just make sure that he takes care of himself. Okay.
Well, he does his best. He's not very good at it, though. I'm sure he's got his dwarves to watch over him for a little bit.
I'm sure that'll keep him plenty busy.
Anyway, Doggy, what was her name again? Shinori. Uh, bye. Toodaloo.
And just kind of disappears into the darkening woods.
And just right before you leave, Shen jumps up and starts looking at your arm affectionately.
I just regenerated that. All right, fine. You're a good dog. Keep an eye on her.
And
Slushes her.
Shen dutifully returns to Marani's side and sits.
And Barnacle disappears, making an arrow straight line toward Torst.
When Barnacle leaves, she just sits back down by her campfire and just sits there holding Anderos's hat in her hands and just reading over the note again a couple times, just a couple of lines, but and then she is going to she has a crystal that on a chain that hangs around her neck. She's just going to grab it, and it's more out of instinct than anything else, but she just holding on to this crystal, looking at this hat and thinking of Andros, and she is going to cry to scry on Andros.
Ooh.
A wisdom save or charisma save?
It
It's
is
wisdom.
and I've got here. I'll just post it
Equals
because there are modifiers. So it looks like
So
after
whatever I
wisdom.
roll, it's a -9. You have a possession,
yes,
and you know me well.
correct.
Well, I rolled a 12, so it's a 3.
Yeah, that is a fail. What do I see?
It's evening, so you would probably see him sitting in the captain's cabin of the Horizon's Promise. He'd have some maps spread out in front of him on his desk, and there'd be a lowly burning wick in an oil lantern nearby. Um, there is scattered other papers. A small strongbox seems to be propped open by uh, a few gold coins and a little sack. But yeah, he's just mostly mapping out a route. There's some contracts and information of passengers and whatnot. He's just generally taking stock before the voyage begins. Actually, at this point, the voyage has begun, so he's this is out to sea. So he's just keeping track of stuff before he tucks in for the night. Waves seem to be rolling the ship gently. It's not a stormy day, stormy evening.
She'll just sit there watching him until the spell ends. And when it's over, she'll just give a sad little smile to herself, and she'll lay the hat down next to her bedroll, and then she'll look over at Shinari and Frey, who's in his elephant form, and then she'll look at her own silver hair, and she'll just think to herself, "I need to be less conspicuous." And then she'll just douse her campfire and tuck in for the night. And now Raina is going to go off and cry for a while.
Okay. Let's see. Zidane, early on in that month as well, kind of hop around a little bit. You do actually receive a letter from your sister.
Oh, does my new secretary give it to me?
Yeah, yeah. Kasim kind of hands you like very confused one of those days. Just kind of hands you a odd textured parchment written by your sister. Uh, uh,
Like I immediately recognize the handwriting.
yes. Yeah, and it's a I don't have the uh, but the letter just kind of states that you're from your sister saying that you are finally pulling your weight in the eyes of the new cartel, and they're ready to welcome you home. But a big hero might be too big now for the cartel. Oh, but fret not, for the cartel wants to turn over a new leaf. Isn't that great, brother? Surely you can't ignore your family's call for help. And then she gives a meeting location. That the cartel will arrive in Galaran within a month. Or will pass by Galaran within a month.
Does it have a return address?
um, it has the name of like a place to drop the letter off of outside of Galaran. It says there will be someone waiting for a response. Will be waiting there for 2 days for a response. If not, then they will assume that no response was given.
Sedan looks at the letter, and I think by this point he's actually put up walls inside of the otherwise barren house. Actually, um, he's gonna look at the letter, look at Kazim. Kazim, get your things and don't find this too odd. I'm gonna stare at a wall for about 10 minutes.
I've seen Stranger.
I'm gonna summon the sanctuary, and once it's here, I'm going to kindly ask Kazim to wait inside of it for safety reasons
Okay.
before um well I write my sister's name on an envelope and then write my own letter with only 2 words: when, where, and go to whoever or wherever that drop-off point is.
At the drop-off point, just kind of shortly outside the city of Galran, near some trees, you'll see another Yonti, kind of not like being super conspicuous. He's chilling against a tree with a fire lit, kind of chilling, looking at the gate, very intentionally waiting for you, and seeing you stride out gives you a slight wave.
I approach carefully. I am wearing my fancy uh, garb I had gotten for the ball about a month ago, with the sigil across its back.
Hello, nameless one, or clanless one. Have you got to an answer?
Well, the paper says when, where.
Good. She told me to instruct you that if you were to agree, they will meet here again in a month's time. They will arrive under the cover of night, and they will meet you at your place. Do not ask how, she already knows.
That father is dead.
Yes, we hail now under your sister.
I'm glad that she's gone up in the world. Does she wish to meet with me herself, or is everyone going to be bumming some board off of me?
She will meet you there herself, from what I heard. The cartel will be there as precautionary measures, as we always do. We are interested in what you have done and what we might be able to do with you. She wishes to welcome you back home.
I want to cast suggestion on him.
All right.
So what I say as I cast suggestion is, regale me with the exploits of my sister in my absence. And here is
Okay. He does have advantage being a Yanti, if I'm not mistaken.
you. I think took that away for this world.
That's right. I did as a player, as a playable race instead of the playable. Okay. I did for the balance reasons. The magic immunity is crazy. Alright,
Well,
just
if
give it
it's
a
for the player race, I mean that could.
That's fine.
That'd be-
I'll keep it the same thing. I
Okay.
just couldn't remember if I had done that or not.
Riel smacked it out of him, but the rest of the Yanti still have it.
Gosh, I'm rolling garbage. Gee. He he just kind of leans back or starts sitting by the fire and beckons you to sit. Yes. She has been very active. I do not know all the details of when you left, other than that there was members gone. In that time, your father grew weaker, more indecisive. Several of us questioned his authority, his ability to correctly choose what was best for the clan. Your sister also held such doubts, but no such doubts when it came to the blade. She did not speak when or how. She simply just did. And one night, it was over. The next morning, she dragged out his corpse and tossed it into the middle of the clan. And took it over just like that. Such is the way.
What else has she accomplished since becoming leader then?
She has been looking for some of the other cartels to try to unify, she says. Merge. More so take ownership. It seems she wants to make a mark, as it will, for our peoples. An interesting thought. I am not sure how well it will hold, but she seems to hold a lot of favor with the younger Yonti.
I imagine the religious types are not pleased.
Not exactly, but she placates them. She promises offerings to them to the old ways as well, that we can also live in harmony with the old ways while progressing the new. Though I would be remiss to say if I do not know if there are other things behind the curtains. She talks often in private with the religious leaders, and often in private with the others as well. Many deals, I imagine.
And what of other races?
What of them?
Do they also share her counsel?
They say they do. If they do, they bring them under the cover of night. She seeks to make a name for herself, is what I could guess. Do not know. It is not my place to know. I simply follow the order she gives.
Your name.
I'm sorry.
Your name.
If she wishes you to learn it, she would tell you it. You are not a member of the cartel yet.
No. But that may be the reason you'll be able to get into Galaran. It wouldn't be better for me to know your name in particular, so you might be first to have praise heaped upon you.
That
Otherwise, you're
is,
just some mother snake like me.
do not lump me with you. I hold station in the cartel. You are but a listless, clanless exile.
And yet, my sister, what is it that the humans like to say, is extending a branch of olive?
For now, you are not in the cartel yet. Till then, I hold my stance. Clanless one.
Do you require anything for the journey back? Zidane stands.
Nothing that you could provide.
Safe travels are the same.
Yes. We will be meeting again in a month's time. And with that, he just kicks dirt over the campfire and just walks away. Starts walking off into the night.
Wait for him to leave eyesight before leaving myself. And assuming I get home without incident.
Nope, roll initiative, your mug. I'm just kidding.
Damn it. I check on Kazim, who has been inside the sanctuary. Oh shit, I forgot him not to try going. I forgot to tell him to not try going outside the porch. Oh no.
You see him like lying on the floor.
Impaled by thorns.
Not impaled, but he just looks a little dazed. Like, oh. Uh, welcome home.
I
You did not tell me it was such a pretty place, and I thought I could go and take a nice stroll outside. It did not like me out there.
I apologize. Does he look wounded or just roughed up?
No, just he basically walked. The equivalent of he just kind of walked into a wall head first and just fell backward. And he's just been laying there since.
Well, sorry. You pick him up, extend a hand. Look, for the near future, I'm gonna try keeping this door here. It is a safe haven. If there is any danger at all, please feel free to sequester yourself within it.
You do not have to
But
tell me twice.
I do need to have you deliver a letter to Absynthos Levia and tell him there might be some interesting company coming within a month, and I need to talk with him.
Okay. Just prepare the letter, and I will go off and give it to this house Levia.
I write as such, and off Kazim goes.
Yep. All right, and Absynthos, that same night, you receive another letter, not from Mung Dirtyfinger, but from Kazim this time, stating
How
what.
far away is it from
There's one house between us. No.
No, it would be. I mean, it's like a 5-minute walk at best.
I think
You'd be like,
towards the gate.
yeah, you were closer towards the gate, kind of off to the side, like a kind of a second thought plot type mentality. Like Real's kind of off in his own little sequestered, small little area. And yeah, Levy has a big house. It'd be kind of more prominently central, closer to the king, the old king castle.
Absloss is going to walk over briskly to Zidane's estate.
Awful. Okay.
Sorry, my
He's gonna-
brain heard
Wait.
Zidane's waffle, and I'm trying to understand why I'm walking towards your waffle.
And you're
Walking
bringing
towards your
Kazim with
waffle.
you, I guess? Are you just like
Waffle.
immediately leaving after Kazim gives you the letter?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm leaving after Kazim gives the letter, and yeah, Kazim might get escorted out if he doesn't leave soon. But yes.
Well, I'm saying he would he would hand you the letter and leave, and I'm like, imagine you just like are literally now walking behind him, and he's just kind of awkwardly watching over like over his shoulders. You're following.
I might actually overtake Kazim on this one. If I have to start jogging a little bit, I will. This is
He starts jogging to try and outpace you.
do I need to roll an athletics check to outchase Kazim?
Do it.
Yes, he has
Always.
no idea what he's doing now.
Like to roll a tripping attack.
Roll me the athletics against Kazim.
Oh,
Kazim is born to serve. Kazim outruns.
Kazim does not skip leg day.
He spent most of the day was running around the tavern, so yeah, he beat
Dealing
you
with
by
our
a fair-
shenanigans.
He beat you by a fair stretch. Pounds on the door.
Open.
Master Zidane, Alcedos is coming. I don't know why he's running after me though. Please save me. I may have angered him with your letter.
If you feel the need, he just waves over at the door. Sanctuary.
He breathlessly just runs through.
He blinks and then steps outside. Well, he looking outside for Absinthoss.
Oh, he'll be right there. Just out of breath. You serious with this letter?
Yes. It's not as if I've been purposely avoiding you for the last month or so. So I would hope that me reaching out would have some sort of gravity.
Well, why don't we go inside and tutts over some tea?
Sure.
Do you...
So is your mother still into the whole... He closes the door behind
Yep.
him, and he says, the whole sacrificing thing, because she's about to get some competitors. And I don't know if you want to roleplay that whole entire thing, or if you want to move over to the next scene, is Zidane would provide what he just learned from Nameless One.
Okay.
Maybe we go over to the next scene as we're discussing a little bit more over some tea. No, she's not into that at the moment. Are you implying that there's going to be some more people going missing in Galorand in the near future?
Hopefully not.
What do you mean, hopefully not? It's either you do or you don't.
Let's just say that my sister has managed to become a leader.
Huh.
And her people and allies are coming by soon.
Coming by for what?
Well, in a month there's gonna be a cartel, or maybe a few cartels of Yanti, probably under this very roof.
Hold on. Let's back up for a second. You're saying, ah, yes, I am a noble man, one of high social esteem, and I will allow many, many child thieving snakes to live under my roof, under my protection.
I think that you might be jumping to an assumption of a couple of things in there, but no.
But, hold on. You told me these people are interested in sacrifice. You told me that you're going to put it living in your house, which implies that it's going to be under your protection.
I said that they're coming to be here, not that I would be protecting them. The details are rather hazy,
Why do they
Absinthoth.
have to? Why do they have to be in here then? Why can't they meet somewhere else?
I don't know. My sister is just like me. Well,
Well, yeah, your sister needs to pick a better spot for a meeting place, that's for sure.
and Zidane's gaze actually. Are you wearing a necklace, perhaps?
Oh, you mean a very specific necklace? Of course.
Just looks at the necklace for a moment as he says sister, and then just shakes it off. In any case, I don't know what she wants, but she wants to meet with me. And also, apparently, instead of staying at an inn, wants to use my house. At least that's the implication that I gathered from her messenger.
Hmm. Hmm.
Do with this information what you will. I thought I would keep you apprised because I'd rather not talk with the Queen Mother Levia myself. He stands up, has not touched his tea since making it, and he goes to find his chipped dagger before going towards the doorway. Hopefully, there's no bloodshed. It's just more politicking that I have no stomach for. But
Oh, you're gonna have a stomach for it one way or another as a noble. I can assure you of that. Think
as
of all
far as
the fun you will have. It's
as
just
far
like
as
being on that stage. Remember? Down in
uh,
Dunmoric?
well, lucky for me, I believe Riel's mantle, including the nobleman status, was just showing up.
Oh, there's a whole nother layer you're ignoring, Zidane.
Good night, Absinthoth. And I go out to find that one special statue of Lathander and put, unless something stops me, I put the chipped blade that I used to signal sea breeze a month ago.
The bat signal.
That signal.
Okay.
So,
I don't think that the temple or the shrine of Lathander is anywhere near where you just were, so I'm imagining you've walked for a while.
yeah.
Okay. And this would be from the noble quarter, so GM, would you mind if I ex machina the notion that I had seen him approach and just preempted?
Sure.
Okay.
Sea breeze is
I
always
take
watching.
10 steps towards the shrine, and then suddenly,
Suddenly,
cat.
sea breeze.
That will not be necessary. What
I
is
mean,
it
I
you...
guess I'm carrying the fact that I'm carrying a chipped dagger and along with the halberd is like,
Yeah, she shows up behind you, you know, nothing personal, kid. But that will not be necessary. What do you need?
I lack the facial muscles to be surprised, but surprised I am. Oh, do you have any experience dealing with the Yanti cartels by chance?
No.
I just received word that there's going to be a couple, at least one, two, coming here to Galaran within a month, and I suppose that as one of its Zidane thanks for a more clandestine name. One of your associates might be interested in such information.
They may already know, they may not, but what do you know? What do they want?
Well, apparently they're being led by my sister, and she wants to talk to me first thing upon getting near us, near
Why?
Galaran.
Why?
Apparently, being a hero of a Galaran has made them notice me again, being worth being noticed at least.
But why do they want to come here?
Well, he looks up and down the alleyways. For one, there's no Yanti here already. Just like any criminal organization. If there's something they see as open land, they want to claim it before anyone else can.
This is very unwise. You would do well to tell your sister to stay away if it is dominion she seeks.
For all I know, she might just be passing through.
This is unlikely. She would not have contacted you in such a way if she was just passing through.
And my sister is just like me. Take with that what you will.
Don't know much of you, Zidane. I believe my predecessor in your group probably knew you a lot better than I do.
Hmm. Well, in any case, I thought there might be some diligence to try and inform you and yours. By the way, how have you been?
I'm discovering new sides of myself that I had not seen before. It's very interesting, I must say. Also, your compatriot and my new friend Thamor has a very interesting mission. See what he does. But I have a question for you before we leave the topic of your cartels. What is the
Yes.
primary organizational reason that these cartels exist in your experience? Are these totally criminal? Or is there some more beneficial purpose to these organizations?
Well, typically there are two camps. There are the zealots that they worship the serpent gods and very much keep to the old ways, such as sacrifice and otherwise sowing discord among the other races. Traditionalists that are trying to not die out. And then there's the rest of us that just want to make a living, whether that be drugs, crime. Although the messenger said something strange, my sister's maybe turning on a new leaf, I think is the saying. Of course, I haven't seen her or anyone in my own cartel for, tries counting the years. Riel has beat the numbers out of his head. A long time.
Thank you for this information. Though I wonder if you give it to me freely, is it where do your loyalties lie?
He blinks. Falling into old habits. I suppose my loyalties lie in not wanting anyone to die.
It's beyond your control.
True. But at least some talk can happen, hopefully, before it comes to that.
When do they arrive again?
A month, maybe less.
Where do they come from?
From the south.
Oh. Overland then?
I believe so, unless she lied.
Okay. Well, I will take this information from you freely, but again, understanding where your loyalties lie is key, because if I come back to you and ask for information about leadership, lieutenants, scouts, and such, are you willing to provide that?
If you're asking me right now, I have no loyalties to my kith and kin. If after talking with them that is the same, I don't know. That's out of... Unlike some of the other companions we both enjoyed the company of, I'm unable to divine such things.
Yes, but you mistake me. I am asking you when they arrive if you would be willing to feed information to me to keep people from dying,
Ah,
but betray your kin.
yes.
This is quite a thing that you say, so I will take you very seriously. Tell no one of our conversation.
Of course.
I wish you luck.
Likewise.
You blink, she's gone.
Yeah, I have no perception, so straight D20 I probably would fail anyways.
I suppose we could roll for it.
Suddenly, Kazim is there in her place.
I haven't rolled it. I haven't rolled all session.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
No, right.
Let's do it.
Oh, that's a lot.
Oh.
Do a flip.
It's, wait.
If
What is
it,
my
if you just
what is
go
my
above-
adder?
If you have
Yeah,
expertise, it's an
that's a
8 plus.
that's a 26.
Suddenly, she finds a window and jumps out it.
a window just appears. It appears in midair, and she just hops through it, and yep, completely invisible. I blink. Seabreeze is gone. I continue on with my night and go back to my house. Ta-da!
Might be a decent place to end it since it's past midnight, but kind of start poking at the larger skips after that, since I think we have like one more main RP thing. Oh, there's a couple more. There's some couple more, but it might be a decent place to kind of call it, I think. Actually. If you guys are okay with that.
Yeah,
Fred?
I'm alright with that.
How much longer do you think it would be? It's just making
I
sure
think
don't
he's
fall
ending
asleep.
it.
Well,
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
how much longer could you potentially push it, Mr. Shred?
Oh my god.
Well,
Or Mr.
considering
DM.
Or
well,
Mr. DM?
I prefer not to push it much longer, but
I'm
well,
sorry, I'm strong arming.
No, yeah, this is a fine ending spot. If you're getting tired or we're ready to end, I mean, we're 2 months in, and I think things should go quicker next session because there's more bigger skips in the next
Yeah.
couple bits.
it sounds like a good as place as any. So I think that's where we'll go ahead and call it. But yeah, I think that's where we'll go ahead and call it. But yeah, that's good amount of RP. I mean, I'm hoping we can get through all this in due time here.